one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
You view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
free smoke.
Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much or how you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop a million songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our block, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So it won't be long-winded. Like, you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
Listen to me. Hear my words. I'm what the game been missing. I am what the game been missing. Listen, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome to Kicking It with Saint. I am Saint. This is a sports show. It's a phenomenal sports show. It might not be phenomenal yet, but it's gonna be a phenomenal sports show one day. I haven't done a video on Lamar Jackson in a little minute. That was not intentional. I kept thinking I was gonna get to it. I'm glad I hadn't. Divine timing, perfect timing. It seemed to just figure itself out. How is everybody's day going? First off, I'm intrigued to know. I hope everybody had a dope day. If it didn't go the way you planned it, hey, we got tomorrow. Oh, you still got time left in the day. Go do one thing that you love every day and you'll find yourself a moment of peace. I saw that on a sign. I didn't make that up. So listen to me. I've been watching a lot of sports television recently. And I've been listening to a lot of people talk about Lamar Jackson. And I didn't do a video when Lamar got his contract extension. I didn't do a video, talking about him showing up for camp and all that type of stuff. But this might be a little lengthy video. It depends on how fast I talk, to be completely honest with you, and how far off track I go. But we are here to talk about all things Lamar Jackson. I don't care what you done heard. This is the best place to listen to somebody talk about Lamar Jackson. This is the best place to hear somebody talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Why is that, Saint? Because I'm going to be completely unbiased. I am a Baltimore Raven fan. I've been a Baltimore Raven fan my entire life. I got a Baltimore Ravens tattooed on my arm. I love Baltimore. Been a fan since I started watching football. I also love Lamar Jackson. From being not sold on Lamar when he first came into the league to absolutely adoring this man from his second year to this point. I love Lamar Jackson. But I love football also. God bless football, like Peyton Manning said. So we're here to talk about the Ravens. And I promise you, this is the best talk you're going to get. Because another thing, I'm not employed by Baltimore. So I can be critical of them and not take shots at Lamar Jackson or players unnecessarily to defend the Ravens. Like dudes like Bobby Trossett, who I will continue to say, I could care less that some of these dudes got a way bigger following, a way bigger fan base and whatnot right now. Bobby Trossett is trash. And I'm not talking about Bobby Trossett, the human being, even though I'm not really a fan of the human being after some of the shit he had to say about Lamar throughout that entire saga. It's very interesting to me that when another person is trying to get money for their family, everybody else got something to say about it. But nonetheless, and I think it's real funny that you can tell a player that he asking for too much when they make the organization far more money than they'll ever see. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. I just don't think Bobby Trossett is a great person to go listen to talk about the Ravens. And I watched some other videos out there. But just Ingrave Ravens, I think is his name. He had a sit down conversation. I don't really watch him that much. He a great Ravens content creator though. I'm not really solely focused on the Ravens, even though I do a lot of Ravens content. I do all sports or basketball, football, baseball at times. Big WBC coverage on the channel this year. Go and check out all those WBC videos. Those easily some of my best sit down conversations, period. Well, not conversations. Those are some of the best shows I done had. As far as just energy. Cause nothing was on the line for me. Well, I'm USA, so something was on the line, but that's neither here nor there. Listen to me. We're here to talk about the Baltimore Ravens. We're here to talk about Lamar Jackson. And I'm quite irritated with a lot of the conversation going on in the media with Lamar Jackson. But first off, let's talk about Lamar Jackson getting his new contract. Congratulations to Lamar Jackson for getting his contract. I'm one of the few people who said he does not need an agent. So I don't know why people was making a big fuss about that. I'm also one of the people who said if he wanted to, a team would offer him $200 million. But then you see, that was my mistake, and I owned up to that. You got to remember collusion, ladies and gentlemen. But nonetheless, I said he would be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. All the dipshits who was saying, "Oh, well, he can't get paid more than Pat Mahomes." It's multiple quarterbacks who have got paid more than Pat Mahomes. And before I go too far, I want to say something, because this pandering to fans is really starting to piss me off. Bryce Harper do it a lot. Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow do it every opportunity he get, really, him and Bryce Harper. Quarterbacks coming in saying that they don't care about money. Jalen Hurts did it. And it's real convenient that they say these things after they sign big deals. I'm really irritated with quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks, going out and saying, "Oh, I play the game for, championships, blah, 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 not for money." Considering you will not win or even play in as many championship games as you will just have played in failed seasons, if you want to look at it like that. So when you equate the money you make to the top games you play in, you will have made more money than the top games you played in. So to all those quarterbacks who constantly get on the airways and say stupid shit like, I play for rings, not for championships. I mean, not for money. Every fucking body play for championships. But the bread is also why you play this game. I don't think you would be playing this if you didn't get the millions that you make. And I'm not one of them people who hate on you for the millions. I'm telling you, if the millions wasn't involved, would we really be committed to the game like this? Stop it. Like, bro, you can endure yourself to fans without saying shit that's going to come back to haunt other players. Because just because other players want to make generational wealth for their people and they firmly talk about the money they want to make does not mean that they care about money more than they care about wins or championships. It just means they smart and they understand business. See, owners love it when these quarterbacks say stupid shit like that. Or when the players of high caliber say dumb shit like, oh, I don't care about money. I just care about rings. That's stupid. That is stupid. If that's the case, play for free. I don't think Jalen Hurts would have signed a contract that made him the 24th highest paid quarterback. If Pat Mahomes was the 15th highest, 16th, 17th, 18th highest quarterback, I don't think he touched the field next year before he got that figured out. So stop it. You want to talk about playing for championships? Lamar Jackson didn't get paid nearly what his value was over these his first years in the league. But I heard nobody saying, oh man, he playing his heart out for a ring. Can somebody pay him? I never heard that. But then when it was time to pay him, all I heard was, oh, well, he haven't won at the highest level yet. What? It make no sense. But congratulations to Lamar Jackson on signing a hefty contract. And to those dumbass players that continuously say shit like that, I hope you too sign money for a mega contract, even though you are hypocrites and ignorant in your way of thinking to me. But that's just my thoughts on that. Now, to the people who don't believe Lamar Jackson deserved his contract, it'll be a lot of people out there. Oh, he should have signed an agent and this and that. Again, how about you worry about your money, your contracts, your deals? Okay. I don't know why him needing an agent was so important. I actually do know why. You wanted information to leak on these Lamar Jackson talks, and they didn't. Anything that leaked was false information created by the media, sports media, because they couldn't get anything. And so they created these. I told you all the time, they turn players into the villains all the time, and you dumbass fans eat it up. When the billion-dollar organization and owners is sitting back laughing, like, look at these morons. They hate the laborers and they support us. Like, what the hell? Oh man. Sometimes I wish fans could just really sit back and see how fucking stupid they are, but you know, it's probably not going to happen. Nonetheless, along with Lamar Jackson getting a new contract, he got Odell Beckham, Zay Flowers in the draft, Mark Andrews coming back, obviously. You get Todd Monken, the new offensive coordinator. And let's talk about a couple of those things. You know, I'm watching a lot of different sports shows that say, you know, Lamar Jackson got no excuses now, as if he ever really had illegitimate excuses before. Nonetheless, it's so funny to me when people try to say that Lamar having no weapons is an excuse. When you look at the weapons Justin Herbert done had since he touched down in the NFL, and what has he accomplished? But yet the narrative last year was, Justin Herbert has no help. What is I love Josh Allen. Y'all know how I feel about Josh Allen if you watch the show. What has he done in the NFL? And matter of fact, I don't even like phrasing it like that, because I think every year these top quarterbacks accomplish different things that go towards them making the Hall of Fame one day. So I think it's very ignorant to try to dumb down their careers to just one game, the Super Bowl, that only two teams get to a year, one in each conference. But to the people who look at it like that, what is Josh Allen accomplished in his career? Now, I was looking at that Emmanuel Acho show that he on Speak. It's a terrible show. It really is. And I know some people be like, yo, Saint, you think all these shows terrible. Why do you keep watching them? Because I have to see the different perspectives. Listen, at some point in time, as an adult, as somebody who want to do this, you got to get to the point where you can listen to people say stupid shit and still sit through it and listen to it without it killing your brain cells, and with you being able to understand, try to understand at least why they said what they said, why they feel what they feel, the perspective they coming from. Now you got to understand, a lot of these people in the media is just dickheads and they bias and they got these jobs from not even nepotism, just because they played in the leagues, or ESPN and Fox just trying to hire different type of former athletes. Emmanuel Acho getting a job is amazing to me. I know he well spoken and whatnot, but he don't know shit about sports that he be talking, bro. And him being a former athlete don't mean nothing to me, bro. It don't. I done seen basketball players say some of the stupidest shit I ever heard when it come to like basketball, which was just confirmation. Just because you play the game don't mean you know what you talking about. Point blank, period. But I see people saying, well, Josh Allen done been to a conference championship. Lamar got to at least get there by this point in time. Or Lamar only got one playoff win. Bro, it's just real weird to me that Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, the three dudes who you love to compare Lamar Jackson to, and rightfully so, but the sense of which you like to do it is he need to throw for the yards and what they do. Bro, at what point in time has Lamar Jackson had a Chase, a Jamar Chase, a Tyler Boyd, a T. Higgins, a Stephon Diggs, a Tyreek Hill? At what point in his career have he had a Keenan Allen, a Mike Williams? I just want to know, Odell Beckham before all those injuries in Cleveland when he was with Baker, a Jarvis Landry. I'm confused. A Kyler Murray over there, he got DeAndre Hopkins. I am baffled how the bar for these other quarterbacks is so low when they fail with talent around them. But when Lamar Jackson overachieved with less talent, people scoff at it. But then when he finally fell, in your opinion, or in your eyes, with far less talent than the people around him, he held to some ultra standard. Baker Mayfield was the first pick in that draft. Then Sam Darnold, and Josh Allen was drafted a couple picks later. Lamar was the last pick in that first round. But he held to a higher standard than every single one of those quarterbacks that was drafted before him. Joe Burrow was the first pick in the draft. Lamar Jackson is held to higher standards than him. Not even to mention, Jalen Hurts last year had a great year. All I heard was, well, he only good because Smith and and AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. It's the weapons, not really Jalen Hurts. But Joe Burrow, a dude who you've only seen succeed with talent around him, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, you get to the NFL, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, but you don't question him. That's interesting, because as soon as Joe Burrow starts to underachieve and he don't have those weapons around him, the first thing y'all gonna say is he didn't need help. But for Lamar, and it's just racist at this point. Anybody who get on the airways or anybody who on Twitter talking about Lamar can't throw, you're just simply racist at this point. I think it's funny how they love to do all these different type of breakdowns, deep breakdowns for these other quarterbacks. But then when it comes to Lamar, it's just very simple. We look at the basic results and those are what they are. But for any other quarterback who done failed, we got to take a deep dive. It wasn't just them. They lost because of this thing and that, and this happened and that happened. But when it comes to Lamar, oh, no. It's face value. Everything it is what it is. Never mind that Lamar Jackson was phenomenal in those playoff games to an extent because nobody else showed up. It was all Lamar. Every time they lose on Lamar, and every time they win, we got to credit the defense. We got to credit, these no-name receivers. We got to credit John Harbaugh and Greg Roman. Y'all talk so much trash when they lose, but when they win, I heard Shannon Sharp say that ignorant shit all last year. I don't understand the phenomenon in the media with Lamar Jackson. You either truly love Lamar because you actually do watch him, or you just hate him because it's no on the fence. The people who like to play the fence usually say negative shit about him consistently. And it just is what it is. And I think it's very weird that you choose to view the game from one. I even saw people last year who knew Lamar had no weapons previously come out and say, Mark Schlereth, well, look at Pat Mahomes. He don't got weapons now. Look at him. What? For one, unless you're just a dumbass, everybody in the NFL done come to the conclusion, I came to it about 2 years ago, that Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, I understand you still got those doofuses out there who still try to challenge everything Pat Mahomes. Oh, but he can't do this. He had Tyreek Hill. He had Travis. I understand the people who still do that. But Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. When you are making an argument, you don't usually compare somebody to the best player in football. But I just want to say that's what the media continue to do. When Chris Sims want to consistently take shots at Lamar Jackson, and I just want to say, for all the doofus, matter of fact, I'll get to that in a second. When Chris Sims come out and criticize Lamar, it's, oh, well, Tom Brady wouldn't have done. Bro, what is up with y'all white dudes doing this, bro? What is up with y'all? Like, this is ridiculous. And the fact that the media don't get called, the sports media don't get called out for this, I know why they don't get called out. Because as long as you have a huge population of white men that watch your show and patronize you, you will never truly bring up the biasness of race in the media. Because those white men that pay and watch your show will immediately threaten you and say, oh, why you got to bring race into it? Oh, I'm finna stop watching this. I don't want to have politics. Isn't it real funny how white people immediately say, oh, race is a politic thing, is a political thing? That's wild to me. That's wild to me. But listen, I want to talk about, because see, when I was finna talk about Chris Sims, I was finna go on a little tangent about something that the media keep doing when it comes to Lamar Jackson. And I'm so baffled. Do I want to talk about that right now? Because I'm trying to make sure I hit every point in this video about Lamar. Because I understand I haven't done a Lamar Jackson video. Do I want to? Nah, I'll come back to that. I want to hit on Todd Monken real fast. The Lamar Jackson wanting to pass the ball more. Now he got a coordinator that's going to try to build a system and scheme up dudes who can actually, get open and whatnot. I think it's a big deal. However, this narrative that go around in the media, oh, well, now Lamar going to be able to throw the ball as if he couldn't throw before. Like, this is what I'm saying when I say these dudes do not watch the games. They just don't. Because if you watch the games, Lamar Jackson throwing the ball is not a problem. It's who he throwing the ball to that's the problem. Is how long he got to throw the ball when he dropped back to actually throw the ball. Is the fact that he can't turn around and hand it to the running backs because they never there. Is the fact that he had an offensive coordinator who just did not know how to scheme up receivers. He had a 300-pound fullback running out to take routes. But sure, let the media always dumb it down till Lamar can't throw. A very ignorant narrative that for some reason, you fans who should be smarter than this, continue to let them get away with. You should demand better than that. But you don't. Because for some reason, the media done convinced you also to have this weird ass hatred towards Lamar Jackson. And I don't know if I'll ever understand it. I don't know if I'll ever get it. It is absolutely weird. But have at it. But I do think Lamar Jackson will have a far better year. Listen, it's hard for me to say far better year because I'm at the point where I know Lamar Jackson is going to come in and do what he's supposed to do. These top quarterbacks are not the problem. They very rarely are. That's why I said last year, my issue with Dak Prescott and the Cowboys is, what do you do to get Dak over this hump? because you gave him everything. He got a great defense. He got great weapons. You can keep adding weapons, but I mean, he didn't have great weapons before and didn't get the job done. He had great weapons, in my opinion, last year and didn't get the job done. The defense was otherworldly and couldn't get the job done. He threw more interceptions than anybody in the league last year, I believe. Definitely was top 3. And he missed like 5 games. So I don't know how the Cowboys get over the hump at this point, other than if you had a Lamar, if you had a Joe Burrow. I don't like saying Joe Burrow because I really don't know how good Joe Burrow is. If you watch the Bengals play, you got to be unbiased. If you're a Bengals fan, obviously Joe Burrow is God in your eyes, and I get that. But I'm talking about, well, I'm not gonna say that because it's I don't actually talk to some unbiased Bengal fans. In a sense, when I say unbiased, I'm saying that they can actually talk about their team from a sports analyst type of point of view. But I don't really like using Joe Burrow, and I said it multiple times because I really don't know how great of a quarterback Joe Burrow is, which is, believe it or not, a big thing that's going around in talks that I'm having with a lot of different sports fans. A lot of fans is coming to the conclusion, I don't know how great Joe Burrow is, because name the other quarterback that's got this type of talent around him. Jalen Hurts. They got to a Super Bowl. If Jalen Hurts lose these weapons, people gonna say the same shit. Oh, you running out of time. You got to win with these weapons. It's the same for Joe Burrow. Now, he can say he's gonna take a contract that's gonna keep these dudes there. At the end of the day, it's no amount of money. For one, you're not going to lowball Joe Burrow. That's not going to happen. So if you think he's going to sign you keep thinking if Joe Burrow end up signing the biggest, because it's going to keep going up, bro. Matter of fact, I'm just let it play out. If you bozos really believe Joe Burrow finna take like the 5th highest paid contract in the NFL, I got a bridge to sell you in New York. New York. But those 3 receivers, with the exception of Tyler Boyd, because he might be out of, even though I still think if Tyler Boyd, all 3 of them, 2 of them receivers most definitely is young enough to go out and get big contracts right now. You're going to give Jamar Chase a big deal. Jamar Chase is going to want to be the highest paid receiver in football. I promise you Jamar Chase ain't taking no huge pay cut. T. Higgins can go out and get top dollar on the market. And if Tyler Boyd was released today, he could too. So, if you really believe that they're going to be able to keep them all 3 of those receivers on the roster and Joe Burrow, you're stupid. They're going to either not be paying nobody on the defensive side of the ball and they done played offensive tackles and offensive guards. It's no shot, bro. They better trade one of them so they can try to not lose them for nothing. But excuse me, I don't know how great Joe Burrow is. I know I done come to the conclusion now I think he a top 5 quarterback, but I'm not definitive on it because I done seen a lot of quarterbacks with talent that I still knew they were the reason that talent even shone brighter than it did. I don't, bro, if you go watch the Bengals and if you can listen, one day I'm going to be on a level where y'all going to be able to suggest things because we're going to have a big enough audience. And I'll bring this topic back up then. I just want to see the plays that people believe make Joe Burrow that guy. Because I done watched damn near every single game Joe Burrow done played in the NFL. And I'm not bullshitting with you. I done watched damn near every single game that he done played. I don't see what y'all see in the sense that I see a quarterback that is better than Alex Smith, but more like Alex Smith on steroids. He can make a lot of the throws. He can make basically all of them, even though it's hard for me to say that also. Because a lot of the throws he make is contested throws at times that he got the receivers that can go. In the game that they lost in the playoffs. No. The game that they won against the Ravens. No, wait a minute. Was it the Ravens or the Chiefs? No, it was the Chiefs. The game they lost against the Chiefs. All three of those receivers, Boyd, Higgins, and Chase, all had moments in the game where it was like, bro, what the hell? He just threw the ball up and all of them went up and high pointed the ball. That's what those type of receivers can do for you. All three of them have great hands. All three of them can run great routes. What's wild is all three of them can play in the slot and outside. It really don't make sense that they lucked up like this. It's not even luck. They just know how to draft receivers, bro. I don't know another quarterback that was this young. Like Justin Herbert. Now, this is the caveat. I don't think Justin Herbert is better than Joe Burrow. But if somebody came up to me right now and argued that he was, it would be tough for me to rebuttal. And this is why. I can clearly see the problems in Justin Herbert's game. Because while he is playing with two great receivers, or one great receiver and another good receiver, even I think both of them are great receivers, but Keenan Allen is definitely a great receiver. Even though he is playing with those two, I can still see how good he is within the game. Now, my thing with Justin Herbert is not even Justin Herbert. Well, I do think Justin Herbert suffered from the fact that he done had bad offensive play calling going on around him. And not even just bad offensive play calling, bad decision making, bro. They so addicted to making Justin Herbert the man and everything. Oh, we win because of Justin Herbert. But when we lose, it can never be because of Justin Herbert. That's one of the reasons they done failed, in my opinion. I don't really think it's as much on Justin Herbert as it is just organizational stupidity. But Justin Herbert do not make a lot of big time plays when they need to be made, in my opinion. And he fall in love with these quick passes. It's either I'm sitting in the pocket making a deep throw, or I'm going to make a lot of dink and dunk passes. That you taking away a growth element in these quarterbacks' games when you turn the game into that form, or you allow them to turn the game into that and don't correct it. But I can clearly see some of the deficiencies that I don't think Justin Herbert is the greatest decision maker at times, especially when the game get tight and shit the pressure is on. Joe Burrow to me is a great decision maker a lot of times see, that's one of the things I think that make him great. He don't make too many bad decisions, if any at all. And that's one of the hardest. I think that's actually his greatest trait. Is Joe Burrow don't make bad decisions. And with the talent around you, you shouldn't have to. Like, I'm not trying to discredit him. I'm just saying, I get irritated when I see quarterbacks with a ton of talent around them, Baker Mayfield, and just make dumbass decision after dumbass decision. You look at Joe Burrow, he do have games where he'll throw a couple interceptions and things of that nature. I just think that's him coming down to earth at times, or just being Joe Burrow at times. But for the most part, like 90% of the time, Joe Burrow have great decision making. Now, the times where I think the shit start looking iffy is when he play against a defense that figure out ways to slow down that three-headed monster on the outside, inside with those three receivers. Once they play against a team that can neutralize that for a half, that's when he start to look shaky. But it's just hard to stop them three dudes for a whole game. So eventually, like I say, they will start to score points because it's just difficult to play. Most teams in the NFL don't carry two great cornerbacks, let alone three. So you usually gonna have a linebacker having to try to defend one of those dudes, or a safety coming down in the box to try to defend one of them, or to play him in coverage or something. Like, you committing you can't even double the Bengals because they got three receivers. Because if you double somebody definitely getting open. Like, go look at even games they lose. Look at how open these dudes be running. And when they not open, look at how good they go up and catch the ball. Like, to me, I get the arguments that people have when they say Joe Burrow is great, yada, yada, yada. It's just, not when they say Joe Burrow is great. When they say Herbert is better than Joe Burrow, because there's a lot of people who think that. However, I just think because some of the people who think like me when it comes to Joe Burrow having a lot of weapons around him, I do think that it's hard to judge him truly off of that. However, when I watch him, I don't see this extraordinary, otherworldly ability that I see from Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, and Josh Allen. I just don't. When I watch those three dudes, I watch them make unbelievable plays, lead their team, like win games they shouldn't win just because they are quarterbacks. I have not seen Joe Burrow and them boys win a game. Now listen, I don't want to be disrespectful. They are winning these games because Joe Burrow is a competent quarterback. He is a top tier quarterback. You can't just have a random back there. Even though I'm pretty sure you could put Ryan Fitzpatrick back there and he could get you all the way to a game where we win this one in and then throw a couple interceptions to fuck it all up. But Joe Burrow, in my opinion, haven't really been put in the situations that these other dudes been put in because he doesn't have far more talent around him than those other dudes. And the beauty in Joe Burrow's game, in my opinion, his greatest asset is that he just make great decisions. He don't do more than he have to do because he know he don't got to do more than he need to do. He just get it to these dudes. They're going to get open. It's three of them. You can't defend all three of them for a whole game. You got Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine in the backfield who can run the hell out of the ball. Joe Burrow, when he hold on to the ball too long, and now sometimes his offensive line is just bad, but that's usually when they draw up like these elongated plays because it's very rare that Joe Burrow just getting tropped or like blitzed as soon as the plays start. Like I'm talking about taking down from start to finish. Now that do happen to him. Don't get me wrong. That has happened to him, but that's not what's happening every fucking week. I'm just telling you right now. They actually have multiple. They can go a month or two and have great games for Joe Burrow. I know it's a popular thing that Joe Burrow gets sacked a lot. And even I done said they got to find better ways to protect Joe Burrow. But that also come to decision makings. Because like I said, Deshaun Watson gets sacked a lot. Over half of Deshaun Watson's sacks is on Deshaun Watson. He hold on to the ball far too long at times. Way too long. Where you like, bro, just get rid of the ball, bro. Every play ain't got to be a great play. But I now want to discuss the media that I was going to get to when it comes to Lamar Jackson. You know, this love affair that people keep doing with, oh, Lamar got no excuses now. They brought over Odell Beckham. They got him a weapon. Odell Beckham coming off of 2 fucking ACL injuries and off of a season where he didn't play. What the fuck are you talking about? The Ravens finally went out and got him somebody. Why didn't they go get Odell when he was up for trade coming from Cleveland the first time? Did D-Hop been healthy, more productive than Odell Beckham? Why didn't they go trade for him? A.J. Brown, far more productive. Why didn't they go trade for him last year? It's a lot of great receivers that the Ravens could have went and got and traded for, like all the other great receivers get traded around. Yet, you think that them signing a receiver who most teams didn't even want because they was only going to give him a certain amount of money because they didn't think he could stay healthy. You think the Ravens overpaying to bring in Odell Beckham is now the Lamar has no excuse vindication thing? Y'all look at this game from a really wicked perspective. A very wicked perspective. Just like the people who constantly bitch about voluntary OTAs. Players not showing up for voluntary OTAs, but then they'll get on the TV and tell you why they should have showed up for it. That's very interesting because I don't remember the last time a voluntary work day happened and everybody showed up for that. I don't remember the last time anything was voluntary that people showed up for that they didn't want to, that they do all the time. Because if I'm somebody, well, I see it every day. People who always do a task or a job when they don't have to do it, they don't do it. That's voluntary. Anytime you do something you do every day that you ain't getting paid to do now, but you still decide to do it or don't do it, you voluntarily made the decision because this is you made the decision because this is now voluntary, not mandatory. I don't have to do it. But it's very funny that because these players make millions, all of a sudden voluntary is actually keyword for mandatory in y'all minds. Do you see how you continue to strip away these players' basic human rights? Because you look at them as a commodity or as a pawn to your entertainment, or they make millions of dollars. So rules that would apply in regular life somehow now don't apply to them. Fairness does not apply to them. You get mad when they don't get punished on the same level as some people when you think they should. But now with this, it's a whole different, like, y'all are such fucking hypocrites, bro. Y'all fans is wicked. It's a special spot sitting in hell for all of you. It's going to be crowded. The degree's going to be off the charts, and you deserve it because it's ridiculous how y'all talk. And this shit might sound funny, but I'm being dead ass serious. The way y'all treat players and talk about players and expect this just to strip away their basic human rights just for you to be entertained, it's ridiculous. And Bobby Trossett is one of those jackasses who push that narrative that, oh, players should show up for Bobby. I don't give a damn if Todd Moinkin is new. I don't care about none of that. I don't care if your team that you root for to win a Super Bowl is the Ravens. It's voluntary. If he don't show up for mandatory minicamp, that's a different situation. Completely different situation. These are voluntary. And this is why I hate the NFLPA. Because for some reason, the NFLPA continue to let people get away with even the slightest. John Harbaugh and the Ravens should have been fined when they answered that OTA question. And anytime a team hint that they want a player at voluntary OTAs, you should be fined because it's voluntary. And if you're going to put any type of pressure on a player to be there, you should be fined. I was going to say fired, but you should be fined. Point blank, period. So you can get through your head that when you answer this question, you either going to say next question or you're going to answer it in a way that you don't in any way possible may infer that the player should be here because it's voluntary, not mandatory. Point blank, period. And you can't do nothing to Lamar Jackson for not showing up to a voluntary mini OTA. But that don't mean shit to me. Just because it's great players who they say this stuff about, who we know they can't do shit to, don't care. Because if they'll say it to a big time player, they'll say it and actually act on it to a player who trying to make the roster. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. That's why it's a voluntary OTAs. The people who is supposed to be there should be there. But for the people who this is voluntary for, that's what it is. The media is ignorant. The media is pushing an agenda that I just cannot fathom. I cannot fathom they would appreciate this being pushed on them if they were put in the same situation. The media that pushed this agenda of, oh, Lamar got no excuses. He got everything he need now. Fuck y'all. And I appreciate everybody else for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Listen, I'm pretty sure it's a lot more things I could have said about my guy Lamar Jackson. It's always more left on the chicken bone after you get done eating. Unless you my cousin, bro. My cousin be devouring chicken, bro. He damn near eat the bone. He eat the bone marrow and shit still to this day, bro, like a weirdo. But we're not here to talk about my cousin. Nonetheless, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You could be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Tell somebody you love them. Show somebody you love them. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking the something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.